Hi, everyone, and happy Saturday. So, thank you so much for being here. I know it's the weekend and it's summertime, and you probably have some fun things to do. As you know, am always hiding out inside air conditioning, and especially because I've just been under the weather again. However, I'm feeling pretty good today, so fingers crossed it just stays like this. 50% off on the digital planner, just like I've always done. So you can use the code SAVE50, but I believe the link that I provided, it should like automatically put the coupon code in there for you. So you can get the digital planner for 50% off. And the sale from yesterday is still on because someone wrote me this morning and they're like, thanks a lot for not giving us any warning, which is true because I've been sick. And so I just left everything up on sale. So you can still get the entire Anti-Procrastination pop-up shop for $67. So that's $200 off. And you can also get the digital planner for 50% off if you want that as well. So I'm going to show you today how to edit that. So I am going to share my screen. I'm actually just going to share my entire screen because it is just easier that way. All right, see a weird picture-in-picture thing. Let me move myself over to the side. All right, first thing, so make sure to come to my YouTube channel, and if you hit community, you should be able to vote for the next pop-up shop planner. I know, it's been so long. I think it's been like 5 months since the last vote because it took me so long to get this planner out. But yeah, so we have the anti-anxiety, we have the tarot planner, a website planner, branding planner, or a homeschooling planner. So, and I think if you look at the past voting polls, I can't even keep up. The last one, anti-procrastination, and then anti-anxiety was second. So I don't know, maybe that'll be popular. The other two, people weren't too excited about that. So you can see other ideas. And if there's something else that you want, you can throw it in the comments as well. You can pop a comment in here and say, I'd really like I don't even know, the new kitty cat mommy planner. I still want to do one of those. All right, so let's jump into today's planner. So two things. One, everyone always asks me this. This is the clickable planner that you can sell to people as a PDF. So it's a little confusing. You sell it as a PDF and then they open it on their iPad or their tablet as long as it uses annotation, it's fine. I know, you're like, what is annotation? Annotation is simply the ability to use the stylus or the Apple Pencil and write on a PDF. So I have two videos and I included those for you this time. So inside, when you get into the course, it'll show you, I think there's a video on my channel, Android tablet planner or something to that effect. Yeah, here it is. How to open up a digital planner on Android. So I gave you the links to those in case you have customers who are like, well, how do I open it, right? Because sometimes it's like the hardest part, especially for somebody who's new to digital planning, if you're selling them a digital planner, they're like, okay, well, what do I do with it now? How do I get it onto my iPad? What applications do I use? So you can just send them links to these videos and it's all taken care of for you. So I put those links into the digital planner like template. When you buy it, there's links inside there. Okay, so this is obviously Adobe Acrobat, but I can show you the tabs will work the same. If they work here, they're going to work on any of those applications, whether it's GoodNotes, Zoto, Samsung Notes, any of those applications, it's going to work great. Even Procreate works. So when you click month, it will take you to month. When you click 1 through 10, it will take you to the first page of the productivity tips 1 through 10. Check-in number 1. It's going to take you to this page. Check-in number 2, it's going to take you to the recap for days 11 through 12. 21 through 30, it's going to take you to productivity tip number 21. And the tabs work over on the left as well. So as long as these tabs work inside on your computer on Adobe Acrobat, then you can feel very confident that they are going to work just as well onto someone's iPad or their tablet. So couple things you'll notice, I really like the 2-page spread. I think it just gives more of a feel of like using an actual like digital planner versus I know some people will put the just like leave it in portrait, and then to me, like, what's the point? You could have just used the printable. So that is one thing. Also, I changed the coils here to be purple. So everything just kind of has that purple motif and matches. But this is basically the whole planner. What you see here is what they get. And I always like to change the cover on these planners to be something different, just so that they stand out a little bit from the printable that you already have. And remember, you do have all, I think it was 6 different covers I made. You can use any of those covers. And in fact, this cheetah leopard kind of animal print, that was on the bonus that you received, the 20 email subject lines. So you could actually, you have a full 8.5 by 11 page of that. You could use that here as well. So let's show you how to do that. So a couple different things. If you have never seen an Adobe InDesign file that uses a, yeah, here it is, see? The 20 subject email line. So you could use that as your new cover if you would like. But let me show you the InDesign file if you have never used this. Hold on, let me duplicate this. Okay, so here's the file. You can just ignore this, skip these. Uses the same exact fonts that you used in the original printable, so nothing different there. Same thing, the images. The only thing, and I forgot to mention this yesterday, some of the images like this one are Adobe images. I really wish, like the fonts, if I could, I would just give them to you. Same thing with the images. If I could give you Adobe images, I would, but it's like against the rules. So if you want 2 things, one, if you want to use this exact same photo, because you're like, I just don't have time to look for another one, you can, 2 things. If you just sell the file as is, it will work. If you open the file, it will give you a question mark and say, hey, we can't find this file. And the reason you can't find it is because I did not provide that like particular image. So to find that file, you'll go to Window and you will go to Links, which I know sounds counterintuitive because you're like, it sounds like a hyperlink, but these are just the way that InDesign works is it links all the images that are in your file to a outside like document, so that in theory it's, I don't even know why it does that. I was going to explain it. I'm not even sure why. It just happens. So if you go into links, you can see that this is a Adobe, let's make this a little wider. Oh, that didn't help. There it is. Adobe 838933. I know it's such a long word. So if you look for Adobe 8933, whatever it is, inside of Adobe stock, then you are going to be able to use that same file. I don't know why. There it is. Copy. So if we go over to just open a new browser and we paste that in, it should just bring up for you Adobe stock images. So in here, it'll ask you if you want a free 30-day trial. I would definitely do that. I don't need one because I have 165 assets, but you can go ahead and enter that in there, and then you should be able to find it. Maybe it's the .jpeg that's throwing it off. All right, I guess it just wants the number. There we go. There's the file. I guess you have to strip out the word Adobe and strip out the word JPG for JPEG. So you can see mine says re-download for free because I already downloaded it. It says license. But if that's the photo you want to use, then you can download it and then upload it, and then you will have the same file. So everything will look exactly the same. So just wanted to cover that really quickly. So let's go back to our InDesign file. So what makes this really special is that it has links built into it. So we don't really have to worry about that. Let's go to Window, and if you go to Pages, just make sure that there's a check mark in front of it. And you're going to see at the top here, parent pages, and at the bottom, you're going to see the actual pages. So a couple different things on the parent pages. If you want to know which parent page has been applied to which page, all you have to do is hover over a page. So if I hover over this, it says B month applied. So I know that if I go up here, that B month which is my parent page, is the one that has been applied to that page. If I go down, if I scroll down and I go to a different page over here and I hover over this page, I can see it says 1 through 10 tips applied. So that is the page up here, 1 through 10 tips has been applied down there. Now, everything that is on the parent page is kind of like, I always like to say, it's like a watermark. So it shows up like header footers inside Microsoft Word, and it will show up on every single page. And the reason I did that is because two things. One, you don't need to keep copying and pasting the same thing on each page. And if you want to make changes, you can easily make changes everywhere. So just like before, if I want to change this to green, and this over here to green as well, or blue, or I don't know, maybe I want to go for like a rainbow effect. Make this pink. Oh, whoops. Make this pink inside, and I'll make this like yellow. Okay, so I've changed a lot of things inside of the parent page. So every single page that has this parent page applied to it, if I go inside of the actual page, I can now see it's yellow, pink, green, and blue. Now, the only difference from the printable is that the next section over here doesn't have the same parent page. And the reason that is because all of these hyperlinks have to be able to work with different parent pages. So if you would like to change this, then you'll have to do it 3 times. So you have 1 through 10 tips, you have 11 through 20 tips, and you have 21 through 30. So if you would like this to be uniform, you will have to come over here and you'll have to change that again to, what did I say it was, azure. You'll have to change this one to that blue. You'll have to change this over here to that pink, etc. And then when I go into that section where that has been applied, I will see that now that is changed too. But the third section hasn't been changed yet because I haven't made those changes yet on this section. So just keep going through, make sure that anything you want uniform, you're gonna have to change it to all 3 sections of those 11 through 20 tips. And then over here for the recap, same thing. If you want the recap change, so let's say I want this to be yellow, then I've only done that to recap number 1, which I can see over here has, if I hover over here, it says recap number 1 applied. So when I double click this, it's only been applied here. But when I go to recap number 2, it hasn't been applied. And the reason is if I hover over here, it says recap number 2. So that is a different parent page at the top that applies to that. So that is how you make any changes. Now, you'll notice in the document, the things that are different is each day has a new tip. So these new tips right here, when you go to that parent page, it's blank over here because I actually went ahead and pasted that onto each individual page. So if I want to change this over here, change this to something new, then I do actually type in that actual page. So hope that makes sense. Now, a couple things. When you are done with your file, all of these hyperlinks here, again, are created inside of the parent page. So if I go to month, I can go here, let me do the selection tool, and I can right click and I can go hyperlink, edit hyperlink. Now, when I say edit hyperlink, it will link to a page. You can also link this to a URL, to a file, to an email, right? So it works almost like a website. But because this is a digital planner, we're just going to link to an internal page inside that file. So this is linked to page B.2. So if I look over here, let's cancel out of here. This is page B.2, and that's the page where the month at a glance is, and so that's why I wanted to link to that. Now, if you make any changes to this document and you change the hyperlinks, you'll have to make sure that you link back to those pages. But if you leave all of these hyperlinks alone and anything that's hyperlinked has dotted lines around it, you should be fine. As long as you don't change any of those hyperlinks, everything should work just fine. So let's say for our monthly, I would like to add some pages about goals. So I could right click on here and I would say insert pages. And let's say I'm going to do like 3 pages on goals. I want it to be after page B.2. And I want it the parent page to be month. So I am going to say, okay. Now, when I go into here, you'll see that now I have 3 blank pages, but they all have these hyperlinks that they've inherited because I use that parent page. So everything is still fine. I can go ahead and I can just start designing it however I want. This is a new header. I mean, obviously I'm not doing anything. I could put new boxes here for people to enter stuff in. I could color it whatever color I want. So this is how you kind of add pages and design them in here. Now, really important, you'll notice that all of the pages start numbering themselves. So the first number is the name of the section, and the next number after that is page 3, page 4, page 5. And if I added more pages over here, like if I said add 5 more pages and I left everything the same, now it would be B6, B7, B8, B9, B10. And that's how the numbering works for this section. So normally when you go into an InDesign file, it will say page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. And that's because it has absolute numbering. But for the purposes of a digital planner, we have sections. And within sections, we now have different sections, section A, section B, section 1, section 2, and then there are pages within there that are after the dot. So if you are inside of Adobe InDesign and you go to Preferences and you go to General, you'll see right over here, page numbering. You have 2 options, absolute numbering, which will just start numbering pages 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, or what I have chosen, which is section numbering. So that is how your files work. You don't have to change that. Everything should be defaulted into there. All right. So second thing, if you do not like this background, if you're like, you know what, I really don't like this purple marble that Lisa's chosen, I don't like this cheetah look, right? Like maybe you're going to go with butterflies or something else. You have the Photoshop files that you can change. So if we open Adobe Photoshop and we go into that file, let me find it because I gave this to you as well. Okay, so this is your Photoshop file. So you'll see everything that you saw before. So all you have to do is, if you don't like this background over here, you can just take the eye and you can just turn it off. And there's some others that are in here already. There's a gold. There is, I don't even know what that is. There is a gray. There is another sort of sandy kind of color. And so these aren't Adobe files. These are previews. So what previews mean is if I were to get rid of this and this, you'd see the word Adobe stock here. So I haven't technically given you the file, but I use the previews because you can't see them anyway, the way I use it, because the white pages are over on top of it. So if you wanted to change any of this, the background, or you're like, you know what, I really don't like these polka dots, you could change that to a different color. Say you don't like the stripes, you could, again, that little eye is just making it shown versus invisible. And then you could just double click these and make this a totally new color. Maybe this is going to be a blue planner, right? And you can double click this, and the fill over here, we could do, say, a lighter blue. And you could just keep changing these to whatever you want. So after you've changed all of these colors to whatever you want, then the next thing that you do is you'll save those files so that they match up with your InDesign files. So if you look here, you'll see that I have the month, or the home. So there's a home button, there's month, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6 tabs on the right. So all I would have to do is I could come back over here, and you'll see I've put these into folders for you. So we could close this folder off, and over here we can turn this folder back on. So we have this on, and tabs on the left, we'll turn those off, and tabs on the right, we'll turn these back on. And so what you'll do is you'll make changes to these however you want. Like I said, we're going to make this all blue. So you can just double click here and start making your blue changes or whatever colors you want. You can add a new color, you could add a pattern. And I'm just making quick changes over here so we can see this. And then over here on the top, remember I didn't want these diagonals or the polka dots, so I'll leave this pink and light pink or whatever it is. So here's how it works. So you have two tabs, all your tabs on the right. So what you're going to do is you're going to export this, save for web, and you're going to export this into your home tab. So we'll call this our new home tab over here. So now when I go into Adobe InDesign and I go here to this home tab that you see right here, I'm going to take that selection tool and I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to do File, Place, whoops, and I'm going to replace it with that new file that I just created. So over here, new home tab. There we go. So now I have all of my tabs, my clickable links are still there. The only thing that's different is I've changed the look and feel of this. So now when I go to anything that has the home tab applied, now I have a whole new look and feel, and that's how you do it. So for each new tab, you'll notice for 1 through 10, that I've moved the month over to the left and I've hidden the other two tabs. So if I wanted to make this one, I would come over here and I would hide the top right and I would come over here to the top left and I would show those again. And then what I could do is I could export this, and this is that first tab, that 1 through 10. So we'll just save this as a JPEG. We'll call this 1 through 10 replacement. And when I go back into Adobe InDesign, I will select this again from here in the parent pages, not the actual pages, and I'll do File, Place, and I'll do 1 through 10, and now everything is blue. So when I go into any of those 1 through 10 pages that have that applied to it, then I will be able to see, whoops, there we go, that everything is now blue. So that's how easy it is to change any of those tabs and those colors and the background and anything else that you want. And you can do that using that Photoshop file. So let me know if you have any questions. I've tried to make this as easy as possible for you to make any edits. And I hope everyone has a great, wonderful day. If you are inside of Planner Pixies, I got some questions the other day because if you buy Planner Pixies, which I don't know, again, why you wouldn't. It's such a great deal. I haven't even changed the rate from the founder's rate. You're going to get over 100 different templates. So you're going to get all the pop-up shop planners, you're going to get all the dated planners, you are going to get all of the digital planners. There are now 19 of them. You're going to get everything, and you'll also get access to me on Voxer. You'll get the monthly book club, you get access to me on Circle. So a lot of cool things. Plus, you don't have to pay for any of today's templates, today or yesterday's. They're just included inside the membership. So that is the better deal, but I totally understand if you're like, I really just wanted this one single planner, then you can still get those on sale. And don't forget to go into the YouTube channel, go to community, and make sure to vote for the next pop-up shop planner. All right, I hope everyone's having a great, wonderful, and fabulous day, and I will talk to all of you later. Bye.